Hey everybody, this is Nick Norton, Dr. Nick Norton to those who observe. And last night, when I was teaching my music production class at Santa Monica College, I gave the students an introduction to the various editing tools in Pro Tools, and particularly the shortcuts and the use of the multi-tool. So I thought I would make this video for everyone to see what they learned and also for students to review. So, when I say editing, I mean cutting up pieces of regions, moving them around the screen, taking them from track to track, making them fade in and out. And the fastest way to do this is to keep your left hand across the left side of the keyboard on the A, S, D, F, and G keys, with your thumb kind of near the spacebar to play things back and hear them, and your left pinky over Control and Shift, and your right hand on the mouse. And when you have your hand in that position, and you have your keyboard focus turned on, that's that little A to Z thinger over here, light, it means that the A key will trim to wherever you're selected. I'm going to zoom in a little, which is T and R. So press A, that's gone. S goes from the other side, so it cuts the end down to wherever your cursor is. D puts in a fade in. G puts in a fade out. And my fades might look a little different from yours. You can change those in the Pro Tools settings, or by selecting the region you want to fade over and pressing Command F, and that brings up all these options. The other one I didn't show is if you have something like this and you select across there and press F, then you get a crossfade, which is pretty useful. Also, while you're dragging up and down between tracks, if you hold the Control key, it will lock them in time. So I can't move this left or right as long as I'm holding that Control key down. If you want to get real fancy here, you can actually put your right hand over on the keyboard as well, above the P, semicolon, L, and apostrophe keys over on the right side, just next to your Enter key. You can use those keys to navigate your session super fast, almost play it like a video game, right? And if you combine the Shift key with that to make selections, I just press Shift left to select that. I'm pressing, or Shift L, excuse me. I'm pressing the P and semicolon keys to move this area up and down. If I press Shift apostrophe, I've got all of that. And I can press X, down, down, paste. You can see how fast this makes it. Another fun one is duplicate, Command D. Whatever is selected, you can duplicate it just by pressing that. Use the undo key a bit here. I'm zooming in very quickly using the T key and out with the R key. Again, that's keeping your left hand over the middle of the keyboard. Oh, tab the transient. So we can use the tab key to move across our session to whenever the beginning or end of the next region is, or the next fade. And you can use Option tab to go backwards. But if you click this little button right here at the upper left of the screen, or you can press Command Option tab, it is in fact the tab key, that turns on tab to transient. And what that lets you do, here I'll zoom in so you can see it, is each time you have a transient, which is a spike in a sound wave, more or less, you can press the tab key and it'll find where that is in the file. And that's whether or not you are on the grid or in slip mode. And then when you've found something you like, you can press the B key to break it. And if you want to grab a whole region, you can press Shift Tab, Shift Tab, Shift Tab, Shift Tab, say I just want that. You can press B to break it out if you want to, or you could just go straight to pressing X and come down here and paste it there with X, C, and VER, cut, copy, and paste, respectively. You don't actually need to press Command on that. You can just press the key by itself, as long as you are in this correct focus window here. So those are all the editing shortcuts I just use constantly to go through work really efficiently. There are two other things to point out. One is that if you like the mouse a little more, this bar up at the top lets you select different tools. Here you have the various timeline selection tools. You've got a marquee kind of tool here. You have a grabber here that you can turn into cutting or object selection, which is a little more advanced. But what most people I know do, and what I do, is to select this little bar that selects all three of these. They all light up together. That's called the Smart tool. And with that, you can use your mouse in a much faster and more powerful way. The way it works is wherever you happen to be, the top half of the region or the clip is where you click and drag to make selections. Same around here. The bottom half is where you grab and move things. So top half select, bottom half grab, move. Combined with our other keys, we might, if we wanted to grab this middle part, like do this, press B to break it, and then click the bottom half and move it down with the mouse. Remember holding the control key if we don't want to change where it is in time, left or right. So that is really effective. And then the other thing to show on it is that at the top right and left corners, you have a fade tool that will use whatever those fade settings you used are. And if you go to the bottom of a clip edge like this, you get a crossfade tool that you can drag. And I'm in grid mode, which is why it's only going to the grid lengths right now. If you put the cursor near the edge of a region, you can drag it in and out like that. And same thing on the other edge, it turns into this little bracket. And it is important to note that when you do this, you're not moving the region. This drum beat right here is still going to be right here, but we're going to start with it when we do that. If we want to move the region, we use the grabber tool and do this kind of thing. The reason I'm not playing back any sounds in this is because if I press the stop button, it stops recording my voice. But we don't actually need sound to see how all of these edit tools work. And I'm figuring out a new video setup. So I hope those are all useful. There's one more pro level thing to mention, which is that if you get an external piece of software like Steer Mouse or like the Logitech Options mouse thing, and program your right-click key to be delete instead of the regular right-click menu, or if you have a third mouse button to be delete, something that makes it so you can work crazy fast is using that mouse key to press the delete key. So I can just like move my mouse around here and get rid of that, do this, without having to take my hand off the mouse back and forth to the keyboard, and then my left hand is doing all the fadey, trimmy stuff. Right, so I hope you folks found that helpful, and I will be doing more videos like this. Ciao!